Welcome to this channel. The channel is for education and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. So yesterday I shared a YouTube on the Wing Chun longevity sets. And within that video, I share a lot of details in terms of Wing Chun trainings and the history of Shaolin. Now, after I share this, I got a message from Asia asking me, am I put down all the Grandmaster in past 130 years so that I can be a Supreme Grandmaster of Wing Chun? So I look at it and I ask myself, why is he think that way? That really inspired me to share this video with you. And this is to respond to people who think that way. You see, in this world, even though we see each other, but everybody is living in a different world, actually. In terms of Wing Chun or Chinese Kung Fu, say Wing Chun, many people watching the Bruce Lee movie, the Yip Man's movies, the Hong Kong Wing Chun movies, and after they watch that, they think, oh, I want to be a Grandmaster like Bruce Lee, like Yip Man, or like other Wing Chun Grandmaster. Well, that is a norm, an ordinary way of thinking. I would say that most people might think that way. And when people heard about, oh, you know, Grandmaster, you know, you have a title Grandmaster. It's like you are a few levels higher than other people, more superior than other people. Or if you are the gatekeeper of Wing Chun, that means you have both the title and the power, and you can control so many people because people need your approval. Well, there's ordinary thinking. However, I can say the world don't understand me. I get into this Wing Chun stuff to make it simple for you to understand me. Is go watch that movie by Nicolas Cage. The title of the movie is National Treasure. National Treasure. Played by Nicolas Cage, I think in the 2008 or 2009, something like that. National Treasure. If you watch a movie, then you can understand who am I, where do I stand. No, I'm not in the group of watching all those Chinese Kung Fu movie or want to be Bruce Lee or want to be the gatekeeper of Wing Chun or Supreme Grandmaster. No. I am more like Nicolas Cage in that movie. I like to decode what happened in the past because I happen to inherit that document. So if you watch that movie series, Nicolas Cage, the National Treasure, then you can understand me better. So it is a complete different world with this. I'm the Grandmaster of Wing Chun. I'm the Supreme Grandmaster. I'm the Tai Sifu. I'm the gatekeeper. All this stuff. Or I'm the best fighter. Or I can make a lot of money if I do that. Or I have a lot of power. I have a lot of say. It's completely different world. So I am, since the beginning, it's like an archaeologist. I just want to decode what happened there. And because of this decoding, I step into many things. That's why I be able to share with you what's going on. And of course, via this decoding, there are many things on Chinese culture need to be clarified. Because it is culture. So if you're an archaeologist, you saw that thing, that's what it is, and then you want to tell the world, hey, you know, this is not what people think. So why do I get into this Shaolin stuff? Because so I inherit the 1850 Shulim Tao writing, right? In that writing, there are a lot of things which is my late Sifu Cho Hong Choi don't understand. And for some reason, I have relationship with the Buddhist temple in Pematang Siantar, Indonesia, Sumatra. The reason of that relationship is my grandfather from my mom's side. So what happened is when the Chinese migrate to the to our area, the Sumatra area, there is no Buddhist monks there because they are Buddhists. So the elderly asked my grandfather from the mom's side, who is from Xinhua, China. You know, Fujian, Xinhua is like in the so-called southern Shaolin, the area, to go invite a monk to the area so that you can have a Buddhist temple. And my grandfather is the person who invite the monk to come to our area, and then they build the temples and so forth. So that is the venerable, late venerable Sekgo Cham, who he invited to Indonesia, to that place, Pematang Siantar. So I'm his grandson, so I'm kind of VIP in that temple. People say, oh yeah, you know, his grandfather is the one who helped us help Buddhism come to this place. So that is how I know my Sifu, Venerable Fa Chan, and that is where I can have access into the Buddhist library, where you can read sutta or the Buddhisms, the Chinese Buddhisms, and all collections. Well, we all know that Venerable Sekgo Cham is a a real Shaolin martial monks, right? So because I want to understand what happened in this Shulim Tao scripture 1850, I go study Buddhism, go into the library and check out things. And of course, when you go read that, is going to go reading and understanding or try to understand at that time, because I'm still a kid, 17, 18 years old, before I come to America to study engineering. I come across Samatha Vipassana practice of the Tian Tai school. And Tian Tai school teaching of Samatha Vipassana is the root of the Chinese Buddhism in that area, and that influence even Taoism. So that's why I always recommend you guys to read the books many times, like the 6 wonderful Dharma Gate and so forth. That is what it is. That is the base of it. Okay, and of course I learned some Shaolin martial art stuff from my venerable, my Sifu, Venerable Fa Chan. And he told me, oh yeah, you know, he was practice meditations and then he get the problem, and my Qigong asked him not to practice more. And so I understand all this thing. Now, but there's a problem. There's a problem. Why is the Shaolin, according to the Shaolin monk, the Buddhist monk and the Shaolin writing, is so different than this Mui fighting, Jishim and all those stuff? So isn't it that Shaolin is supposed to be one Shaolin? It's Buddha based on teaching of Buddhism, right? So if my memory serves, I heard the saying that at the Ming Dynasty, when the Ming Dynasty is fighting the Japanese pirate prior to General Qi Guang, the emperor is asking the Shaolin in Songshan to come and fight the Japanese. Well, history you can check, which is later I learned that you have a Ye Kong, the moon emptiness. They do go to the south to fight the Japanese pirates. That's prior to Qi Guang. And what I understand is, what I heard is that the monk who get injured, they do not go back to Songshan. They stay local in the Fujian area, fighting the Japanese area. They stay there. They start their Buddhist temple. That is where later on it becomes so-called Southern Shaolin. But the teaching is the same. Okay, the Songshan teaching and the Southern teaching is the same because it's based on Buddhism, or be based on Zen, Bodhidharma, Buddha's Dharma. It is the same type of teaching. So the question is, why is it so different? Why is that this Jishim stuff? Why is it in Jishim stuff, like in the Wing Chun, Queen Quid today wrote about the Zen and everything, but it is have no related with the Buddha's teaching, and in fact it is contradict. Well, not until I read the Tang House books and I found out, say, oh my God, now everything of this is based on the fiction. So there's a real Shaolin and there is fiction Shaolin. And today's Wing Chun history, everything is based on this fiction Shaolin. That's why you cannot find the Samatha and Vipassana practice of Buddhism in the real Shaolin until 1928 or 1928, I think. You know, I kind of, I'm not sure about the 28 or 1919 or 1920. I think it's 1928, the burning of Shaolin. You can read the ancient thing. It is all aligned with the teaching of Buddha. Samatha practice, okay? The counting, the breathing, or today is called mindful, the breathing, and all this thing, which is I shared yesterday, you know, like the Buddha said, you are aware of your inhale, you aware of your exhale, the aware of your the length of your inhale or depth of your inhale and exhale, and then aware of your the breath is all over your body, those kind of teaching. So the Shaolin is following that. Even you read so many things is there. But you look at all this Wing Chun, and so forth, it doesn't have those things. And in fact, in Shaolin teaching, we know that internally you want to train the breath. If you don't know the breath, you cannot function. So there's a saying in Shaolin saying that even if you have magical techniques, if you don't have breathing, it will not work. Okay, so it's written in Shaolin. And I found all this thing out is because I can get into the library and read all the ancient whatever there with the sutta and also at that time, one thing which has influenced me is the 6 healing sound. That's why I'm chasing 6 healing sound for decades until I got it. Because that 1,500-year-old quote-unquote technology is very critical for people who do meditation and the people who practice martial arts. It is for recovery. It is for balancing your body. Now, so I read the Tang Hao, his report, and then I see it. Man, this is not what it is. So all this the Wing Chun in the today, which refer to the Shaolin, it is not the real Shaolin. It is based on that fictions is created. And for generations, it passing down. So it sounds real, but it's not real. It never being like that. Because as what I said, mentioned, the first you check the breathing. This is no, it doesn't have the samatha practice. Or even the yogic, they practice samatha. The Taoists have to practice samatha also. Okay. So that's how I found out. But the thing is that this is not about I want to be a grandmaster. Who the world know what are you going to face or what you see in that the library of the monks. You know, I get the scripture. And I have other Siheng who get the scripture too. The 1850 Xiulim Tao writing. But it is a different mentality. For them is this is power. This is transmission. For me, I want to understand what the heck's going on there. Okay, I have no interest on those power stuff since I was young. So this is what happened. And once you got the samatha and vipassana stuff, and then you go back there, and of course, you know, it's heaven's will that I'm I met the book of 峨眉十二庄 where you can see words to words the 1850s 修炼陶 classic is copying it. So you know, oh, this is a Buddhist art. This is a real Buddhist art. This is not only just Shaolin, it have the 峨眉. And then I have to go seek deeper to know all the channel and all the stuff. And then you know there's a journey for a life to just to. So that's why I say, you know, just go watch the Nicolas Cage movie. You just tracking, and you see all this thing, and what people think is not what it is. So that's how it is. Now, so there's Shaolin. So it is important for the Wing Chuners to get back to the Shaolin, because if you don't get that part of the samatha, namely your breathing, your handling, you cannot develop your 修炼陶 sense, because that's the key. The Buddha's teaching in this part is always you have to get into your breathing, the samatha practice, before you can get samadhi. So the ancient Shaolin monk is using this part, the samatha part, to be the base platform of their martial arts. That's why they say, even if you have magical superior techniques, if you don't have breathing, it will never work. So that's what internally you train the chi. Now there's another part of this Wing Chun history on the Shaolin for the anti-Qing. Well, in this anti-Qing also there is the real anti-Qing or the fiction anti-Qing. Like the fiction anti-Qing is the Mui fighting the Qing, and the Jisim, they fighting the Qing, you know, like they in the boat and so forth, so forth. And then, oh yeah, it's anti-Qing. But I found out, after research into all this thing, reading all the ancient texts, many people is again using that story, the fiction, to say, oh, we are from anti-Qing. And then also people who is not belong to this 1850s anti-Qing Wing Chun ancestor group, but they thought that they are real anti-Qing. For example, there are some other anti-Qing who might study a little bit of Wing Chun, of the Red Boat. So yeah, they are from the anti-Qing group. They study some Wing Chun. But today, if we say that they are the ancestor of the Wing Chun, is that proper? No, it is not proper. They are just outside even though they belong to the anti-Qing group, the real anti-Qing group, but they still, they study the Wing Chun, some Wing Chun. So how to differentiate that? Well, it is the salutations. So like in the 1850 salutation, you have this girl or female or lady salutations, which is belongs to the female bowing gesture, which is using, which is the identity of the male playing female in the Red Boat. So from this gesture, you know that is it the original Wing Chun group of anti-Qing, or it is some other anti-Qing group which is have learned some Wing Chun. So you need to differentiate that, okay? And in today's world, many will say, "Oh, this is anti-Qing." No, people will claim that this is the what do you call it? The most original anti-Qing and so forth. But well, you don't have salutation, and your salutation cannot verify. And as what I said, you want to verify this salutations of Wing Chun 1850, you can verify in the opera, of the Canton opera play at that time, or the Chinese opera. And the female salutations, you can identify it. So you know that this thing is from that male play female role in Fat San, 1850. As for other anti-Qing people who have learned some Wing Chun, but they don't have the salutation, you know that they are not belong to that group. They are not the ancestor of Wing Chun. Okay, so this is history. This is not that I can make it up. No. So again, it is like the national treasure. You can check the entire thing, and then you see more, and then you say, okay, now it's clear. So on this, say this Wing Chun, Shaolin Wing Chun, the issue of this Feng Xiu Cheng and so forth, you know. You say that Wing Chun, you know, praise spring is from the Shaolin Wing Chun Hall. As the other day, I have asked, how come in a Shaolin temple, which is based on Buddhism, you have something called eternal? So Shaolin or the Buddhism's bottom line is impermanent. So it's contradict itself. The second thing, again, you track it with the Vipassana, Samatha Vipassana. You cannot see the teaching of the breath handling in Wing Chun, Shaolin Wing Chun. As people say, Shaolin Wing Chun is Wing Chun. You cannot see that. And that's why the other day I shared that, like if you want to go in the Shaolin, real Shaolin breathing and the Ermei breathing, even just the first move, you can see the entire, technically, it is not that. So Shaolin Wing Chun is different stuff. It is not the Wing Chun. And Wing Chun is very specific. So you have so much technology inside there. So you can see so many things inside there. And for sure, somebody later on create the today's 3 sets. But what they forgot is, if you don't get that breathing proper, you cannot develop the Kung Fu. So your Xiu Lim Tao practically cannot develop much. It can be like an exercise, but it cannot develop much like the Shaolin because you don't have the breathing part. Like yesterday, I shared in the video of longevity. Just look at your body posture, your mind, your breathing. You can see that. And it will not work because the practice of Shaolin, again, it is based on the Buddha's teaching on the Samatha and Vipassana, and it is based on like Anapanasati. Okay. So you can see all of this. You can see what works, what will not work. And the Shaolin prayer to the burning of 1928 or 1919 or 1918 or 1928. I forgot the year. You can check in the history. It's practiced that way. So if they stand up, their body can get into that full body breathing. Okay. And then their body be able to move, which is sway, which is called 风摆柳, like the wind swaying the willow tree, because their joint, every joint is very loose, and they can use that for healing. Okay, your Shorinta has to get into that state. So it doesn't matter you from Ermei or from Shaolin, the Buddhist art, right? As soon as you reach that state, your body be able to do that. And the direction is proper. Like from here, I live in San Jose. I want to go to San Francisco. There are highway 101, there are highway 280. Different highway, but it is San Francisco. The direction is the same, even though they have different paths. And when you reach San Francisco, or in the intermediate location, milestone, you know. So be it Ermei or Shaolin, because it's based on the Buddha's teaching, the direction is the same. And when you reach up the level, even though you take different paths, you got to say from here, you got to Sunnyvale, Mountain View, South San Francisco. You all see that. You can see that. In this disregard, you take 280 highway or 101 highway, you have to be there. Okay. So now when you miss the first part of it and you miss the first move of it, it tells that the art is no longer be able to produce the result. And today everybody's talking about this techniques and that techniques. I didn't say this, but the ancient the Shaolin say this. You can have a magic 神仙招, meaning that you have the magic like the gods techniques, but if you don't have the breathing, it will not work. Okay, and of course, not to mention today's. You look at today's Shilin Tao, it is not about supporting the team. The team is you have to receive and move in. Get close. It's no longer in that team. That's why it's a sticking body Wing Chun. Keep San Tuin Da. Is no longer be able to realize or implement what it is in the ancient state. And a year ago, even people in Southeast Asia saying that, oh, Wing Chun is like they're shaking their hand, flipping their arm, and detach and those kind of stuff. Well, those are not Wing Chun, you know, those are Ngo stuff. You look at that, their hand, their technique, their body, you know, is Ngo stuff. It is no longer according to the Shaolin. Like today, we can trace Shaolin, Ermei, and all the stuff because the entire thing is one package. So Wing Chun, we like it or not, Wing Chun is even deeper than, or at least the same level, if it's not deeper than so-called Tai Chi or whatever internal today. Because we track it down, it's going to the Shaolin temple, going to Qi Ji Guang, which is, hey man, it's a military art, and then it get into the Buddha's samatha and vipassana practice, and then you go link up to the 1,500 years old Tian Tai Zhong, the Tian Tai school of the Chinese, the teaching of the Buddhas, the processes and everything. Where can you see those in the so-called internal art today? Well, 内家 internal is coined about 100 years ago. So Wing Chun is very deep. And this is what I found out. Again, this is like the character Nicolas Cage play in the national and national threshold. There's so many things there. Don't the world deserve to know? Don't Wing Chuners deserve to feel the pride that, hey, our art is so deep. Why don't we study more? Why everybody go up the skill, the level? Because it is up for your reach. There's Wing Chun. So, speak of all this, Grandmaster. Are you serious? If you go through what I go through, read all those things. You know the ancients, man. Those real monk and grandmaster, like General Qi Guang, any one of them could be the founder of Silicon Valley's successful corporations. Those how smart, how really capable person is. Who the hell we are? Who the hell I am compared with those people? I'm just reading what they are, they have. You look at today's Bruce Lee. How is Bruce Lee can compare with those people? It's just I usually ask people questions. I say, Bruce Lee, compare with Qi Guang, how is he ranked? You read his story. And you say that the Grandmaster of Wing Chun in past 130 years, how is that compared with those people? Like Qi Guang. It is far, far, far away. And in fact, today we know that they don't even understand the very basic. So of course, I don't even know why I get into this. I don't even know why I haven't, for past 50 years, keeping supplying me on all those informations. And why am I end up in America? I have no idea. But probably somebody out there want this information up, want everybody to know this. In Asia, you have no chance to say this kind of thing because people, there's all kinds of politics and everything. For example, let me share with you something serious. In general, Chinese is blaming the British that they export opium to China to screw everybody, screw the Chinese. But do you know at that time, the royal family of the Great Britain, they take opium too at the time. So not only the Qing take opium, the British royal family take opium. And again, you look at the Japanese, why don't they take opium? Did the Japanese take opium? And you can see the Japanese reform. And then there are many Chinese saying that we need to reform like the Japanese at that time. And in fact, one of the emperor reform, they want to be like the Japanese. They want to reform, and it's only 100 days. And the last empress, which is his mother, imprisoned him and murder him, poison him to death. So when when I was young, I was reading, oh yeah, I know the British is bad. They send opium. But then you think about it, man, this is not right. Sure, opium is bad, you know, but the businessman sending opium, that's bad, okay? But it's only partially correct. Why do you speak opium? The Japanese don't smoke opium. The Japanese have a reform, and the Chinese emperor want to reform, and then your emperors just nail him, imprison him, kill, beheaded all those who helped him to reform. So who are you going to blame? So after you read all of this, you say, something wrong is here. So one thing I can share with you is called selfishness, my benefit. Because of my benefit, whatever wrong, I will not say. So because of the benefit, the young emperor, the young Qing emperor, was captured by his emperor's mom, who already retired, come back and snap him away, kill all of his help assistants, and elect another emperor. Why? Of course, it's because of all those officials go kiss ass. Why again? Benefit. Oh, because they reform, then I don't have benefit anymore. What, do you care for your country? Do you care for your people? So I feel close to that. Why? Because I study Ma Li Tang. I study the six healing sound, which is transmitted down from the Chinese doctor Ma Li Tang. And Ma Li Tang's teacher, one of the Ma Li Tang's teacher is Du Xingwu. Du Xingwu is Sun Yat-sen, the president of the founder of the modern China. Bodyguard. He is the bodyguard of the president, the first president of China, or the founder, I should say, the founder of the modern China, Sun Yat-sen, who is turned out to be American. Okay, and so this Du Xingwu have a friend who is the assistant of the young emperor. He get beheaded, and Du Xingwu gets so pissed, he wants to revenge. End up that he cannot do anything, so he went to Japan and studied. This Du Xingwu, which is one of Ma Li Tang's teacher. And I study Ma Li Tang's six healing sound, which is his teaching. So Ma Li Tang, you know, if you want to use this Chinese how to say that the trace of who learned from whom, Ma Li Tang is my Qigong. And that's why I learned all this thing. And after I learned, what the heck is going on here? And so today you look at like Xi Xiaodong, it is making fun of Wing Chun. So should we say something? We change something? Or we just keep quiet? Why? Because of our own benefit, our own title. Oh, I am the Supreme Grandmaster. Right now, by evidence, what is in this past 130 years and go up there, we have it clear in America. So again, it is like playing the movie National Treasure by Nicolas Cage. We see what it is. So this is what I like to share with you. You know what make the Qing fall is because selfish, self-benefit. And you can see it. It is predictable. Wing Chun will fall also because of selfish and self-benefit. Like Sun Yat-sen said, People are like a plate of sand. They work together. This is reality of the history. So I respond to this. Am I a grandmaster? Far, far away from those who is in the ancient. You think about it. Those guys who studies the Buddha's Anapanasati, be able to create all this thing. You know how in-depth their training and their capability is. They know the body left and right. Like the Qi Guang, it is really tough to fight the Japanese pirate. Even Shaolin monk like Ye Kong, you see, they get ambushed, all gone. So all those people, those are real grandmaster. It's not like, oh, I study one set, then I'm a grandmaster. Or I study one set, I'm a Sifu, and then I have a student, and then he's the Sifu, and then I, by default, become grandmaster. Then I going to call my Sifu a great grandmaster, and then everything stopped at fiction, burning of Shaolin. But nobody can trace in back there. Nobody know what is going on with this thing. So I like to leave this with you and with the world. What screw people is like the Buddha said, selfishness. We don't care for other people. No compassionate. And of course, I have to watch myself, right? Like the Spider-Man say, great power comes with great responsibility. All this information can blow a lot of things away. So that's why I have to watch out for myself too. Because all this information can blow a lot of things out, but we need to use it for constructive, for constructions, for good of everybody. Or else it is like a nuclear bomb. So I hope that this is clear for everybody. If you're in Wing Chun, you need to know that you are studying a very in-depth art, not that Tan Pong folk like in the movie. There is a lot of things there, and that link to Buddhism, that link to Qi Guang, that link to a lot of things there. When all this thing, the Wing Chun thing, linked to all the top people there in the history, you know how deep is those things. But I ask those people who usually say, well, internal this, internal that. I say, well, tell me how does it link? What does it link to? Does it link to Qi Guang? Does it link to Buddhism? Or it stopped 100 years ago? So do we want the Wing Chun to stop 100 years ago, or we want to go all the way to all the knowledge? And there's a real life knowledge which you can prove by science or verify with science today.